construction of a new medical care facility. Sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We've been working on this now for several months, as you know, on financing roughly half the cost of the project and the rest of the cost coming out of our cash. So the wheels have been spinning now until the point where we come before you today to formalize the bond resolution and move forward with the closing mid-December, hopefully, if you're in favor.
This was discussed Monday.
Yes.
Is there any commissioners who have any questions?
Sure. We have our bond counsel here.
Okay.
Hi, thank you for having us here today. Paul Wygowski, I'm with Dickinson Wright, the County's Bond Counsel for this financing. I drafted the resolution, that lengthy resolution that you have before you today for action tomorrow. And that resolution deals with the $13 million portion of the project that will be borrowed by the county. The medical care facility will be responsible to pay the difference between that and the full amount of the project. And I think they've talked to you about the project itself. This resolution focuses just on the borrowed portion, the $13 million. And the resolution authorizes the sale of the bond to CFC Capital, which is a chemical bank company. And that bond then represents a loan that the county would be making. And when the bond is issued, it's given to the bond purchaser in exchange for the $13 million. That $13 million will be placed in the construction fund and used to construct the project. Again, together with other funds that the medical care facility will be providing to construct the project. That the bond will, or the loan, will be repaid over a period of 10 years. The interest rate is 2.39%. There will be monthly payments of principal and interest. And a schedule is being developed that will be finalized before the closing. But again, it will be monthly payments at over 10 years. The bond can be prepaid on any interest payment date without any penalty in the event that the medical care facility and or the county has funds available for that purpose. Then it can, again, be prepaid without any additional interest or penalty. The bond is anticipated to be paid, the principal and interest on it is anticipated to be paid by revenues of the medical care facility. But in addition, the county is pledging its full faith and credit as additional security in the event that the revenues are insufficient for any reason. And that is part of the consideration for the purchaser to be willing to purchase the bond at the interest rate that it proposed. And the resolution authorizes various county officials to take the action necessary after the resolution is adopted to make sure that the financing happens, the bond is issued. I think that's a kind of general overview.
Any questions?
Do you borrow all the money at one time?
Yes, all the money, in this case, all the money will be received at purchase price, less there is a bank purchaser fee of $15,000 that will be deducted from the purchase price at closing. The balance then will be received on the date of closing and again placed in the construction fund.
December 15th, we expect to...
That is the plan, although that could change, but I think all the parties, as far as I know, are on track for that schedule.
We have the accounts worked out, we have the banking worked out. Any questions you would have for Mr. Wygowski? Always here. You could come back tomorrow if need be.
I think we understand it.
Perfect. Thank you, Paul.
Economic and physical development, Commissioner Horvath.
Thank you. Motion to consider authorizing the county's council to draft an opinion and outline a procedure for bringing a moratorium on wind energy into place.
Motion and support, open for discussion.
As we stated over and over again, there is no special use permit even in our hands at this point, but it wouldn't hurt to do some more research on our part, but also look into what is a reasonable time frame for a moratorium that is not too litigious that would get the county sued automatically. As they stated, Apex is a rather litigious company, and you can research everywhere that shows lawsuits that they're in, going to be in, they settled, etc. So I don't think this hurts anything, having the draft an opinion and outlining where to go in the future. I'm not sure when the permit would come. My guess is in January, and as we stated, 90 to 100 days to get that through. It's not going to definitely fall on a night that the planning commission meets, so it could be another 30 days after that. But it'd be nice to help the new board and have some guidelines for them to see what they can and cannot do.
Any other discussion?
Well, I had mentioned before is that because of our meeting the other night, there's been a lot of questions raised in opposition to this project. And I think we should not do anything that is against what the public as a whole wants. And we need to have this better researched and investigated, the plus and minuses, for both sides, before we get into any kind of a formal agreement where we would could be held liable in a case from APEC. We want to make sure that everything is on the up and up and straight, and everybody understands.
I think for now, getting this opinion will be kind of our first step to doing more research and where we can go from here. I think this is a good first step for us on our end at least.
Yeah. And having a moratorium as put in place is going to stop Apex from jumping on board and putting a quick request in as is for permission to start this stuff. As is, we want to make sure we got time on our clock to have all this research and done, not their clock where we're under the gun. So I think it would be a safe measure is to follow.
Any other discussion?
No, sir.
All in favor of moving this to tomorrow's full board, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes my report for the economic physical development.
Thank you, Commissioner Harder. County Finance and Administration, Commissioner Plowman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to authorize the change from part-time, 25-hour, to full-time, 40-hour status for maintenance worker Kelly Edson and at level 4 on the rise salary schedule for the range of $27,008 to $33,041.
Support.
Motion and support. Open up for discussion. Tim?
Well, it was brought to my attention, actually, I think we ought to put her in at rise salary 3 because what we were going off from was, right now we only have one maintenance worker that is at 4. I think under the contract, I think that they can come in at 3. And I think maybe 3 would be a better spot to bring her in at, which would be $24,774 to $30,309.
3009.
Yeah.
I'll just do it right now. On the recommendation of our Village and Grounds Supervisor, I would change my motion to reflect those changes.
I will support that.
Okay.
The other thing is that you were asking, I think before, what the changes would be. Larry wanted her for like 6 hours, which was 8,010, which would be added on. She's already at 25 hours now. That would be that. And then if I cancel the Cintas contract, that would be $8,724. That would go to but the increase would be 11,301.
Yeah.
So actually,
That's at the Rise 3s.
that's at the Rise 3. So actually, between Larry and Cintas, it would more than pay for putting her to full-time.
Also too is that, you know, we talked yesterday.
And there's other things she needs.
Yeah, there's a lot of other things that you're gonna use it for besides that, so, yeah. You know, one time we had 8 buildings and grounds employees with the supervisor.
Great.
Yeah.
Commissioner Snyder, did you understand all that, because you did leave on Monday,
Yes.
where the money's actually coming from, that
Yep.
the health department's paying 8, we're gonna cancel a cleaning contract for 8, $16,000, and he's only asking for $11,000 increase, so we're actually coming out about $5,000 ahead.
The other thing is, I just
No
didn't
problem.
feel that the Cintas contract is, I don't think we're getting enough out of it to keep it. I think we'll have much better, facilities.
I'd like to see the bathrooms cleaned more than
Yeah.
once a month, I don't think.
Me too.
Once a month is really inadequate,
Yeah.
number, so.
So, just wanted to point that out.
Any other discussion? Other discussion, all in favor of moving this to tomorrow's board, full board, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I move to authorize resolution number 16-11-01 to issue a capital improvement bond, Series 2016, under the county's full faith and credit on behalf of the Shiawassee County Medical Care Facility for construction of a new medical care facility in the principal amount of $13 million to be repaid by the Shiawassee County Medical Care Facility over a 10-year period.
Support.
Got a motion and support, is there any discussion? We just heard the presentation. All in favor of moving this forward, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I move to approve the 2017 county holiday calendar for 2017.
Second.
Any discussion on this matter? I think we could add November 15th to that. At least give District 6 the day off. All in favor of moving this forward, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I move to authorize acceptance of the proposal from Daystar Communications to provide a single PRI service line to the existing county telephone system at the monthly cost of between $732.50 to $900, and authorize the board chair to execute all necessary documents.
Support.
Motion and support, is there any discussion?
Patty, anything you want to add on this that you haven't already stated?
How much of a savings, again, approximately, did you think that we were going to be?
Yes.
Well, when I canceled 47 lines a few months ago that were not providing service, but we were still paying a monthly fee. That saved over $5,000 a month. So, the savings isn't so much the issue at this point as having reliable phone service. We've had 2 total failures of the phone system in the county buildings in the last 4 weeks, and we just can't afford to have that happen. I think that in the long run, the Daystar lines will be cheaper than the Frontier lines we're paying for now, but I don't have a dollar figure for that.
And this will cover everybody in the county?
Everything except the Norton Street buildings, because they can't get across the railroad tracks with the fiber. But they have not been having the outage problem either.
Thank you. Any other discussion? In favor of moving this forward, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I move to set a public hearing for the 2017 budget on Thursday, December 15, 2016 at 4:15 p.m. and give notice of the hearing by publication in the newspaper of general circulation within the local unit at least 6 days before the hearing per Act of 1963, Public Act 43.
Second.
Motion and support, any discussion?
Required by law.
Everyone did receive the proposed budget and,
Last, did you get yours? Did you get your copy?
the proposed budget.
Okay.
So everybody's received that. Chairman asked everyone to please review it. If there is discrepancies, possibly get with our chairman before 5 minutes before it's time to vote on it, because it's, sometimes that happens, and it's a lot harder to make adjustments and figure out, what corrections or whatever need to be made if we do it ahead of time. So
And again, thanks to Patty for doing all this, working nights, weekends, early hours. Tom Dwyer for his help with the delinquent tax fund, and all the elected officials and department heads and Commissioner Plowman. Over a course of a month and a half, we went through, met with everybody. We made some amendments to what we had and adjustments, as we call them. They're not cuts, they're adjustments.
this is a big undertaking. It's a lot of work, and well appreciated by all that are involved.
Yeah, I'd just like to make one comment here is that pretty routine talking to the elected officials and supervisors and our employees, but what it really brought out at times was some needs, special needs. One of those ones was the vehicle for family court. Again, that's kind of what commissioners are here for. If there's a sudden need for something that just isn't in the budget and you can't wait, that was something we needed to do. Also, through the year, the improvements in buildings and grounds and their activities and maintenance projects, so we took care of and so on and so forth. So it was, and also it was a big help for Pat, our financial director, to meet everybody, be introduced to everyone. So when they called back, they knew the face with the name, so it worked out really well.
I fully suspect this will deliver another surplus, without a doubt.
Yeah.
This gives the tools to next year's board, all the tools necessary to succeed.
Further discussion, all in favor of moving this forward, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
That concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Plowman. Public Safety and Courts, Commissioner Horvath.
Thank you. Motion to consider authorizing the Shiawassee County Sheriff's Office to purchase a new live scan device in the amount of $15,495 through grant-approved funding and authorize the board chair to execute all required documents.
Support.
A motion and support. Is there any discussion on this?
I just don't think they really need it. Just kidding, Wolf. Damn. Should've been here earlier. It's all up to you, Wolf.
Well, this year, yeah. Yes.
Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Thank you.
No further discussion? In favor of moving this forward, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes that report.
Thank you, Commissioner Horvath. Health and Human Services, Commissioner Rhodes.
Mr. Chairman, I move to consider authorizing the appointment of Dr. Patrick Hansma as a deputy medical examiner of Sparrow Forensic Pathology effective November 2nd, 2016. Support.
Motion and support. Is there any discussion? In favor of moving this forward, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Move to consider authorizing the Health Department to renew a grant agreement with Michigan Department of Environmental Quality in the amount of $34,552 for the period of 10/1/2016 to 9/30/2017 to authorize Larry Johnson, Health Director, to execute all required documents. Support.
There's been a motion and support. Is there any discussion? In favor of moving this forward, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Move to consider authorizing the Health Department to renew a contract with Convenient Urgent Care for testing and treatment for a period of 10/1/2016 to 9/30/2017 and authorize Larry Johnson, Health Director, to execute all required documents.
Support.
A motion and support. Is there any discussion? favor of moving this forward, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Move to consider authorizing the health department to enter into an agreement with Memorial Healthcare Laboratory Services for a period of 11/1/2016 to 10/31/2017, and authorize Larry Johnson, health director, to execute all required documents.
Support.
Motion of support. Any discussion? In favor of moving this forward, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I move to consider authorizing the health department to enter into a provider service agreement with Molina Healthcare of Michigan Incorporated beginning calendar year 2017 for the maternal infant health program billing, and authorize Larry Johnson, health director, to execute all required documents.
Support.
Discussion. In favor of moving this forward, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Rupp. Chairperson, Commissioner Allen.
I have nothing further at this point. We'll be here tomorrow, we'll talk about wind turbines and their budget, turbines? I don't know how you pronounce it. But do look over the budget. There are some things that are in there that, you know, I would like to hear from you about. If you find some discrepancies, let me know and we'll get it fixed. I mean, it is a working document. It's not black and white. It's very gray at this point.
Other agenda items?